Hi, I'm Jason Gorber for ThatShelf.com, and we're here to look what's inside the box. This is a box from Third Man Records, their latest release in the Vault series involving Bob Dylan.
Big shelf.
So yeah, the Vault series from Jack White's Third Man Records. I actually got to visit Third Man Records in Detroit. I've talked about that before on the channel. Interesting place. They have some great releases. Obviously, I wasn't super happy with some of the pressing decisions they made in the past, but they're definitely sort of upping their game. I'm hoping for sure that the QC has improved, especially from what I saw on site. It was pretty dire what they were doing, and they're certainly going in directions like recycled vinyl and all that stuff, which isn't particularly great if you are looking for vinyl as the quote-unquote audiophile solution. If we're really worried about environmental elements, at some point in time, streaming is the better way to go. That's a whole nother conversation, excuse me. But the fact of the matter is that they've been doing some pretty stellar releases, especially part of the Vault series. It's one of those things that you have to sort of sign up, and that's the only way you can actually get it. What is nice, or at least beneficial, is you can sign up and then immediately cancel. So if there's one title you want, they sort of allow you to do that, which is what I did for another in this series of Bob Dylan bootleg records. Now, any fan of this channel or any fan of Bob Dylan is well aware there's been an extraordinary run over the last decades of Bob Dylan mining his archives. It's been an incredible multi-year, multi-disc, hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands by now, tracks in these official bootleg entries that really give a much deeper overview of the incredible diversity of his career, right from the earliest recordings through to some of his more contemporary ones. Bob Dylan B-side or alternate version is usually so radically different than any release version that it's for any fan it is easy to sort of gorge on the completiveness of it all, if you're a completionist, as it were. But nonetheless, I think that all of these records themselves sort of paint an even bigger picture of this enormous talent. Now, the latest release, only available from Third Man. Previously, one of the bootleg series was there was like a 2-disc version released, and the 3-disc sort of compendium was released by Third Man. But it was the first one that's like basically, if you want it, you got to get it from Third Man as part of the Vault series, limited edition. So this is how they ship it. I mean, there's a relatively straightforward box. Certainly less dramatic than, let's say, the stuff from Analog Productions or even Mobile Fidelity. But, you know, it seems to do the trick. Open it up inside, and you have sort of a box inside a box. So they have this sort of free from damage, hypothetically, thing like this inside the box. This sort of gives some distance from the sides, and then shrink wrapped in here is this actually Bob Dylan recording. The Bob Dylan and the Band, the 1974 live recordings, the missing songs from Before the Flood. So Before the Flood, obviously incredible record, was a truncated version of this concert. Now here we are in Vault Package 19 number 61, having the rest of the recordings actually released on vinyl and including a 45, which we'll get to in a second. So to open this up, I mean, it's this weird sort of tape shrink wrap thing. Let's see about doing it this way without doing too much in the way of damage to anything. I think it won't be a problem. And yeah, everything sort of slides out now. And let's just pull this out. We have a booklet. We have a 45. We have this little spiel. Then we have the record in here coming out without any drama. So these are all sort of tucked in the sort of shrinky wrap, tapey kind of thing that's in the box, and that's it. So first things first, let's look at the record itself. Bob Dylan the Band. Look at that Punim. Bob Dylan the Band. Track listing here. Something there is about you, leopard skin pillbox hat. I don't believe you. Hero Blues, Tough Mama, Maggie's Farm, Just Like Tom Thumb's Blues, Song to Woody, Nobody Except You, Lonesome Death of Hattie Carroll, Love Minus Zero, No Limit, to Ramona, Girl from the North Country, Mr. Tambourine Man, Mama, You've Been on My Mind, Wedding Song, Gates of Eden, She Belongs to Me, It's All Over Now, Baby Blue, The Times They Are Changing, Ballad of Hollis Brown, One Too Many Mornings to Take a Walk to Laugh, It Takes a Train to Cry, and Forever Young. Bob Dylan and the band, Robbie Robertson, Garth Hudson, Richard Manuel, Rick Danko, and Levon Helm, as if y'all didn't know that. A bunch of these tracks are Dylan solo. And you'll see from that set list, like, again, it's this wide range of both early Dylan songs and all obviously stuff that he would end up doing on tour with the band in the arrangements that the band would do. Look at that amazing photo of Bobby and Bobby and Levon just there on the kit. The rest of the band sort of hovering around here. Fabulous. Him, just looking great. The Jufro in full flow, but also with the acoustic guitar and the harmonica holder in place. The record itself opens up into a trifold. I'll try to do this. So as it opens up, more photographs, more details about what's inside, and the full trifold, again, more images here. Forgive the glare. We'll find a better way to do this one day, but for now, this is what we've got. On the inside here, produced and released by Steve Berkowitz. Ye old Steve Berkowitz, mastered by Vic Anasini. Multitracks mixed by Chris Shaw. So names I don't necessarily know, but I certainly know the Wally Hyder, recording from the original multitrack recordings. Obviously, a definitive name, Wally Hyder with the remote recordings. I think usually with the Rolling Stone box, but that's the whole thing. Let us look at the records themselves. They are, and here's a good example of why. I am never happy usually. So I've spent a fortune on this, bringing it to Canada. Paper sleeves. Not polylined, nothing. I mean, this is an amazing release. Paper sleeves. Repellent. So I'm going to open this as carefully as I usually do with paper sleeves. And on the inside, we have, look, it's on green vinyl. Now, luckily, on the green, you can actually see how much the paper sleeves have actually affected it. You're not going to be able to see it here, but there's all kinds of little schmutz, little bits of paper sort of right on the runout groove all the way through. Definitely, if you have this, at the very least, brush the records immediately. You should do that always. But I'm going to throw this into my record cleaner, my degritter, and that's probably going to take care of most of the egregious stuff. But it is so ridiculous at this day and age that you have a premium release like this from ostensibly audiophile collectors, and you're putting it on paper sleeves. Offensive to me. But looks pretty in green. As we open this guy up here, see if there's any particular flaws on this one. Now, it's interesting. No track listings on the records themselves. The artwork's nice. The green is nice. The green on the actual label looks close enough to the actual pressing. Again, lots of schmutz on the record itself, but nothing in the way of specific marks. There's some little, pressing artifacts on here. It looks a little bit, not quite a scratch, but certainly a discoloration. The green that usually shows up on some colored vinyl. But should hopefully clean up nice with little in the way of additional surface noise. And as I pull out the third record of Third Man, get rid of this garbage sleeve. Again, other than the normal schmutz, which is all over the place here. And again, some of those sort of fine scratches on this side looks pretty good, looks reasonably flat. It should clean up and should be okay. So that's the records themselves in this lovely trifold. There's the little information thing that it actually had. In honor of the 15th anniversary of The Vault, the longest continuously running vinyl subscription club in the world, Third Man Records, in conjunction with Columbia Records Legacy, is proud to announce the 61st Vault package, Bob Dylan's 1974 live recordings, The Missing Songs from Before the Flood. And yeah, gives a nice little spiel, the ripped, nice little thing that will sort of tuck in here. You get this, the Before the Flood Dylan and the Band booklet. This has all kinds of images, notes on the 74 tour, them playing ping pong, and all of these elements here. Like if that That's interesting. So we have this. Then when we, right, with this photo of them on the bottom, when we open it up again, there's them on the bottom. This looks like almost the same. Is it the same image? Looks pretty the same to me. Yep. So we have this and we have this. That's very weird. So we have these guys here, right? And this entire side here, these two photos are replicated on this side. Not sure what they were thinking there, but you know, is what it is. That's one way of increasing the number of pages without needing to license additional photography, I guess. Very odd. But yeah, some lovely period-specific images, and then including that guy in the back. Amazing, amazing contemplative photo of Bobby D, Mr. Zimmerman. And then we have this. This is sort of one of the exclusive things that come with it, with mirroring the same third man kind of look and style in the green. It is a 45 of side A, and this one's actually interesting. It's a sort of speckled, much lighter green than the dark green of those. Side A is blown in the wind from Inglewood, California, on 213 and 214.74, so it doesn't actually say which one it is. I believe that's two shows, not that they started and then went over to past midnight. And side B, most likely You Go Your Way and I'll Go Mine, from New York City on January 30th, 1974. So those are two tracks that are actually included on the 45. Now again, this has already been in this paper sleeve. That will get re-sleeved in my Vinyl Storage Solutions 45 stuff, and also still cleaned on my degritter. That is our look at the unboxing of the Bob Dylan and the Band release from Third Man Records. I am very excited about the release. I am very annoyed that they haven't grown up and started using polyline paper sleeves at the very least. Get on that, Mr. White. I understand that you like the whole sort of nitty-gritty of analog reproduction and sort of the funk involved of just plugging your guitar in and hearing all the crunch. But when I buy expensive records, especially coming over the border, I want them to arrive to me as pristine as possible, and putting them in a cheap paper sleeves is absolutely a non-starter. But I'm looking forward to listening to these, and we'll give them a shot. For thatstuff.com, I'm Jason Gorber. Thank you so much for watching. Please let us know in the comments what you think of this release, or if there's any other releases you'd like us to look at. Hit the bell, subscribe, do all of that stuff. Follow us on social media. We will see you in the next video. Thanks so much. Take care.